Can herbs be used instead of antibiotics? This is a tough one in that very often if people need a medical intervention because they have a serious infection, I don't want to suggest that they should just avoid antibiotics. But I can tell you that I think it was University of Kentucky about 25 years ago did a study on 17 of the most common bacteria that can occur in food that can make you sick. And they found that turmeric, onion, garlic, hot chilies, and I think basil killed every one of them. And then from there, in descending order, other herbs and spices helped to do that. I have, in places where sanitation and hygiene are very, very sketchy, I've relied especially on hot chilies to help me out because they will kill bacteria. So if I'm eating food that's suspect, if I'll eat hot chilies with it, I radically reduce the tendency to get any sort of sickness. If you have an existing infection, then I'm not qualified to tell you what to do in place of antibiotics. I mean, I will try different things. Skin infections, I find, for example, liquid bee propolis will do anything that a topical antibiotic will do. Tamanu oil can be helpful for topical infection problems. One student I had at the University of Massachusetts had MRSA. That's methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, which can make a hole right through your body. And she had had it on her side for years, and the doctors had not been able to treat it. And when I gave her tamanu oil, which she applied on it, it resolved. So yeah, botanicals can be used for anti-infective purposes, but it depends on the infection, it depends on the severity of it a lot.
What herbs, plants, or medicinal mushrooms are best to improve sugar cravings?
Improving sugar cravings, I would look very strongly toward chromium. I think chromium, especially in the picolinate form, is the unsung hero of blood sugar regulation and helping to curb cravings. I also know that if you will avoid sweets, if you can do that for a period of time, it becomes a habit. And that will contribute to craving them less. But also, if you're living in unhappy circumstances, as many people are, we know that taking in sugar, taking in refined carbohydrates can give you a temporary hit of serotonin, which is a feel-good chemical. And often people who are in adverse circumstances will go for that because they want some relief. They want to feel better. And so you may find yourself in circumstances such that you're repetitively going to crave things just because you need that little bit of relief. So in that case, it's not a matter of an herb or supplement, it's also a matter of changing the circumstances you're in.
What herbs, plants, or medicinal mushrooms are best to replace Viagra?
There is no replacement for Viagra. It produces an erection rather quickly, and pretty much every formula that I've seen that claims to do the same, or that may in fact produce the same results, is contaminated with Viagra. There are lots of herbal formulas for sexual enhancement, especially from China, routinely adulterated with Viagra and cocaine. And yeah, they'll give you a great erection, but it's the drugs. Tonkat Ali, ashwagandha, rhodiola, all show benefits for erectile health. Very good benefits. And there have been some studies, and I should include red ginseng in that. There have been studies with men with ED, especially with rhodiola and Panax ginseng, red ginseng, showing resolution of that in many instances with relatively high doses. But nothing is going to give you the speed of Viagra. So maybe if you're having erectile function problems, you take these for a period of time, and whether it's a couple weeks or more, you regain some function. Nothing will actually replace Viagra. But then again, the herbs won't increase your risk of heart attack, stroke, or blindness, which Viagra will do, so you're better off.
What herbs, plants, or medicinal mushrooms are best to help you get rid of herpes?
The only thing I know of that will get rid of herpes is tamanu oil. Applied on a herpetic infection, it will usually resolve it very quickly. I've seen that in many, many instances. And tamanu oil is little known and little understood, although it is available. But you know, if you've got, whether it's a cold sore around your mouth or genital herpes, if you apply tamanu oil directly, you can usually get rid of that in about a day and a half.
What herbs, plants, or medicinal mushrooms are best to improve sex drive for men, and what about for women?
Improving sex drive, so improving libido, there's almost nothing that compares with maca. Maca is really a safe food from the Andes, but it has unique sex-enhancing properties at the same time. I mean, it's a staple food of the people in the Andes. It's eaten by little kids, it's eaten by adults, everybody eats maca. It's a primary source of nutrition. But it does have unique sex-enhancing benefits, and it certainly does stimulate sexual desire. I know I've met many men and women who have gotten benefit that way, and I've also met many men and women who have been utilizing maca and have stopped because they didn't have a partner and it just made them too darn horny.